Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's event. We are so excited to have Frank from Black Cove Beverage here this evening. So Black Cove is the maker of Morécello. We were supposed to have Frank on last month during our Keep It Local sale, but thunderstorms, unfortunately, made it technically unable for us to go live that night. So we're really excited that Frank is able to join us tonight. He is going to mix a couple of cocktails for you guys. He also has a great giveaway, so make sure you stay tuned until the end. So this giveaway, you have to be able to pick up the prizes at his location. So if you're willing to go and pick up your prize, you're eligible for prizes. So if you're watching on Facebook, watching on Zoom, you are eligible as long as you will go pick up your prize. So I hope you're all excited. Our summer fun tour is in full swing right now, and I think that Frank's liqueur would make a great addition to one of the cocktail challenges. So get it if you're thinking about entering, pay close attention tonight, maybe include some Morécello in one of your cocktail submissions. So without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to Frank. He has some really great cocktails for you guys tonight. It's a really great brand, really great story, really great price right now too. So without further ado, I'm going to turn things over to Frank. Frank, welcome.
Welcome. Hi. Thanks for having me. My name is Frank Marino. I am the owner, operator, and founder of Black Cove Beverages. The story is that my grandfather, who was from Sicily, used to make this and taught me how. And for many years, I made it as a Christmas gift for friends and relatives, that kind of thing. And they always pushed me to go commercial with it. And a few years ago, my main source of income, I'm a patent agent, and kind of slowed a few years ago. And so I saw that as an opportunity to start the business, and that's how it came about. It's sold in all the New Hampshire state liquor stores. It uses a secret process that I cannot reveal, so don't ask me about it. But it's a cello, so like limoncello. There's no heat or fermentation, which allows all of the nutrients. Blackberries are, with a few exceptions from around the world, blackberries are about the highest fruit in antioxidants, and all those antioxidants make it through because there's nothing that destroys them in the process, and it really tastes good. So there's a lot of things that you can do with Morécello. Of course, the old Italian tradition is to drink it ice cold in small servings after a big meal to settle the stomach and promote conversation and dancing. But this goes way beyond that. I make a lot of mixed drinks with it. You can see those on my website, www.blackcovebeverages.com. You can get the recipes. There's also desserts and foods that use it in recipes for foods. And then if anybody comes up with anything special and they that I can add to the website, they will be rewarded, just so you know. First thing I'm going to make is my favorite, which is a Blackberry Gin and Tonic. And you start by taking fresh mint and a lime, squeeze the lime juice into the fresh mint, get your muddler, and you muddle it to really get the mint flavor into the lime juice. A little more lime juice. Add that to a glass. Add some tonic water. Can opener, bottle opener. Add some gin. And then just like to garnish it with a little piece of lime. And if I had a blackberry, I'd add that as a garnish, but not necessary. This is allegedly the most refreshing summertime drink ever made. So enjoy. Delicious. The mint really, really adds to it. I also, my mother's favorite drink is, oh, I forgot to add the Morécello to that. No wonder it didn't taste very good. There we go. Look, it should look like that.
Should look like Frank's shirt.
You just gave us the responsible version first and then the alcohol version second.
Exactly. The first one was for the designated driver. My mother's favorite is milk, and Morécello. And if you happen to love black raspberry ice cream, you'll think that's what you're drinking. Very simple, but it's I mean, it's not good for diet, but it is delicious.
Frank, we have a couple questions for you if you don't mind.
You do.
So I guess I gave a little tease. I said if you win the trivia later, you have to pick up your prize. So a couple of our viewers are wondering what could they win and where would they have to pick it up from?
I'll give them a bottle of Morécello and they'll pick it up in Merida.
All right, everybody. So for those of you watching on Zoom, for the 20 or so of you watching on Facebook, you're all eligible as long as you get the right answer and as long as you're willing to drive up to Merida. Let's see, Laura on Zoom here, she was wondering if you could please show us the bottle.
Okay, right now, this is the bottle, which is just the label I designed myself, and I was very proud of it, but I was told it wasn't here. I don't know how well you can see that. So that's what you're looking for right now. It's on sale, $2 off through the summer. But I am introducing, as soon as the next order goes through, a new bottle that I'm told is more elegant looking. So that's what you'll be looking for, hopefully, in September or sooner. And what else can I tell you? It comes with a neck tag on it with a recipe and more information. It makes a really nice blackberry margarita. Like I say, there's a bunch of recipes on there. Next.
Frank, what's the alcohol percentage?
25%. And it's got 3/4 pound of blackberries in every bottle.
Oh, delicious.
Somebody's saying, did you vote? Do you use locally picked blackberries? No, there is no reliable source in the Northeast for blackberries. So they come from the Northwest, unfortunately, but you know, it was either that or I could only make a couple of bottles a year. So
sure. So that question, so Tracy asked another attendee here on Zoom if she had voted yet. So they're talking about our summer fun mixology competition. So I had a few attendees who tried to join us last time. I told them that I had some great ideas on how to use Morécello to make a really good cocktail with mixing it with some Chardonnay. So that was why that question came up.
Yeah, actually, you remind me, a really good breakfast drink is Morécello and Prosecco or champagne. It's a good New Year's Eve cocktail too.
That's very timely because this week is actually National Prosecco Week, guys.
There you go. Yeah. Just add, you know, an ounce and it really tastes well, and it does kick it up a notch, but just a little bit because it's 25%. And Prosecco's, I think, 12. I forget. Anyway, a good another good drink is Loop. Nothing spilled. I didn't spill anything. Don't worry. Pour this in here. Get rid of some stuff. A couple of ice cubes. Some scotch. And some Morécello. There are a few restaurants in Meredith that run special drinks. I'll have them on their menu. Lago will often do a Blackberry pear mule, which is really good. And if you ask for it, they'll certainly make it for you. But you know, a lot of times it's on special on their board. Giuseppe's in Meredith has a really nice, a couple of really nice drinks on their menu that you can't miss. Frog Rock sells a lot of it, but just scotch and Morécello, it makes a delicious cocktail. You can use it as a mixer. It's a strong mixer, but it's delicious. And if you add some salsa, it's even better. Now I'm going to make a Blackberry Sundae next, because I really haven't eaten lunch yet. I've been looking forward to this. You know, scoop or two of vanilla ice cream. Instead of hot fudge, just use the Morécello. It is fairly thick. Some whipped cream. And it's a delicious sundae, much better than a hot fudge sundae, and better for you. I can taste the antioxidants.
Frank,
Okay.
how do I get an invitation to your house for lunch?
Yeah, come on up. Everybody's invited. That's all I had prepared for drinks, but I'm happy to answer any questions, and hopefully, you know, get some interest.
Awesome. We have a few more questions for you. Let's see. One of our viewers on Facebook says, is it true that Morécello has won some awards at
Yeah.
a wine competition? That doesn't sound right to me. Is that right?
No, a couple of international spirits competitions. Didn't think to bring them. The American, it's international, although it's called the American. I wanted two bronze medals anyway. In the, you know, within the first 2 years of being on the market, so we're proud of those. What else?
Frank, you mentioned, I think, that your grandmother, this was her recipe originally. How long have you been making it commercially?
Since 2015, I started the process, and then I had my license by 2016. Took a while. I had to buy a facility because the license is tied in with the facility where you make it, and then I had to get a federal license and then a state license. So it's sold in Massachusetts and New Hampshire at this time. I've tried to expand, but it just hasn't. You know, it's very difficult to expand with a product with a product line that includes only one item. So I do have a couple of other items on the back burner ready to go, but I need to do a little bit more selling first to get the funds up for that.
Great. Have you always lived in New Hampshire?
No, I I've always wanted to live in New Hampshire. I was raised in Boston, but as you can probably tell from my lack of an accent, but I used to spend my summers in Guilford and always wished I could live up here. And so we raised our kids in Massachusetts, and as soon as the last one left for college, we moved up here. He did find us. All three of them found us up here, but we moved to Meredith in the 1990s. So we've been up here for over 20 years, full time.
Great. Tracy would like to know if your facility is open for tastings.
No, it isn't. Unfortunately, I manufacture in batches and then bottle those batches, and then I don't really, work the business until I get orders, and then I deliver the orders. But so for the most part, I'm not there. So it wouldn't make any sense to do tastings unless I schedule something. But you can, like I say, you can certainly right down the street. There's several places where you can taste it. Lago's Restaurant, Frog Rock. There's a few around that would be happy to give you a taste.
Well, Frank, we're doing tastings in store again. You've got Mark on the phone right now.
Okay. I didn't know you were, but I'm ready to get back to it. Yeah, I miss doing those.
So Tracy, maybe we can get Frank down in the Nashua area and you can have a little tasting at store 50 or 69.
I mean, when I do tastings, I would sell just cases of it in one tasting, because pretty much everybody who tastes it would buy a bottle or two. And so it was definitely worthwhile. And I enjoyed it. It's nice to talk to people, get to meet people.
And Kimberly is wondering, is your location on Black Cove, hence the name?
No, I live on Black Cove. And so I'm looking out right now at Black Cove. But so that's why it's named that. But my office, the company office is on Black Cove. Yes. So maybe the answer should have been yes. But the facility is in downtown Meredith.
Awesome. Let's see, Mark, I have a couple of questions for you. One of our attendees is wondering, how many of our stores can you find Morécello in? Is it available around the state or only at the bigger stores? And what is the current pricing?
Well, it's not unfortunately, it's not available in all locations, but it is in 37 of our locations. That covers all the big stores and most of the stores geographically located around Frank and his business up in the Lakes region. So Meredith, New Hampton, Guilford, all those stores do carry his product up here in the Lakes region for all our visitors that come up here. It currently is on sale, regular price at $19.99, but it is on sale for $17.99 through this month of August. So as I put in the chat on the side, feel free to buy 2 of them, because I know I keep one in my freezer all the time and one in the cabinet underneath. So pick up 2 because it's worth it.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. Just to add on to that, I know Mark just said to buy 2 bottles, but if you buy 3, you'll get 10% off. So, and that is.
If you buy 12, you get 10% off too.
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
3 or more and you get 10% off, guys. So that is part of our New Hampshire made sale that runs year round. Buy 3 or more bottles of New Hampshire wines and spirits, mixed or matched, any sizes, and you get 10% off. So great way to taste a little bit of the different regions of New Hampshire. Frank is up in Meredith, but we've got some rum from Westchester. We've got some wine right down the street from me at Fulcino. So, try the Morécello. Expand your palate, try some other things, get 10% off, guys. All right, Frank, some more questions for you. Actually, you already said that your recipe is a secret, so you might not be able to answer this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How do you process your blackberries?
If you Google the process for making limoncello, It's similar, except that obviously blackberries have a different structure than a lemon, and lemons only use the zest on the outside of the skin, whereas we use the entire blackberry. And you know, it's no secret that they're steeped in grain alcohol, and you know, like I say, it's very similar to limoncello. It is a cello, so the process is very similar.
Great. Then this next question is actually for the three of us, but Frank, I'd like you to go first. What is your favorite way? Tracy wants to know, what is everybody's favorite way to drink a Morécello? So Frank, do you have a favorite way? Is it too hard to pick?
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it after a meal, ice cold, just a small amount, and then another one, and then another one, and you know, it really tastes good, and it does help settle the meal. You just feel better after having a couple that way. But on a hot night, there's just nothing better than sitting out front in the rocking chair with a Blackberry Gin and Tonic. You know, it just really, I always loved gin and tonics anyway, but you add an ounce and a half of Morécello, and it really gives it a nice flavor, and the blackberry goes well with the mint. So
Awesome. And Mark, what about you?
I'm going to echo his sentiments, but I'm going to add to that a little bit. I'm the same way, ice cold over an ice sphere. I've always been a limoncello fan, and then when this Morécello came out, I met with Frank back when he started the business, and I've been a fan of it ever since. But I also like it, and he showed it tonight over vanilla ice cream, and I'm kind of a vanilla ice cream snob, so I do it over Breyers just because it's all natural, and that's one of my favorites. So a little bit of that Morécello over top of that vanilla ice cream is something to die for if you haven't had it. So give it a whirl.
another really nice one is but it's only on weekend mornings. You shouldn't do it on a work day. Is on pancakes instead of maple syrup. Really good. But like I say, you just don't want to, have it for breakfast and then head off to work.
I mean, I was going to say that my favorite way is in a mimosa, just a little splash of the Morécello.
A Morécello.
But now, like,
Morécello.
I could have that and the pancakes.
Yes. It's really good on apple pie.
Great idea.
It's really good on apple pie. If you Google New Hampshire Chronicle Morécello, you'll see a what do you call it, that they did a skit, that not skit, but set that they did on Black Cove and Morécello. And at the end, they show just a lot of different, foods with it, and during it, they show a lot of different drinks, and it will give you a good flavor for what we're about, So, and again, I might have a link to that. I'm not sure. If I don't, I'll put one up to that video. But my website is Black Cove Beverages, all one word, .com.
Awesome. All right, guys. So Frank has very generously offered to give away 3 bottles tonight. So if you didn't hear at the beginning, those bottles, Frank is going to be giving them away. You do have to pick it up from Meredith. So we are going to do a little bit of trivia. And everybody who answers correctly will be entered to win the bottles. And I will choose 3 names at random after everybody has had a chance to answer. So
You know what else? I can throw in one of these nice shirts if I have the person's size. I just don't want to promise one to somebody and then, find out that they're a quadruple XL and I don't have it. But I have them in purple with white lettering, or I have them in white with purple lettering.
Awesome.
I'll throw that in with the bottle.
Thanks, Frank. Great prizes. So if everybody is ready, let's do the trivia. And then I know that there are a few more questions for Frank. but I'd like to do the trivia now. So then while we ask Frank those last couple of questions, I can go ahead and figure out who the winners are going to be. And then all of the winners, I will be contacting you to get your contact information, which will be shared with Frank. So I'll reach out to you either via Facebook or via the email address you signed up for tonight's event with. Now, I do have a confession to make. All of the trivia questions have been answered already. So I did make sure to kind of pepper Mark and Frank to give these answers, and they didn't even know because I wanted to make sure you all had a fair chance. So I hope if you weren't taking notes, I hope you were listening closely. So the first question, what alcohol percentage is Morécello? And those of you watching on Facebook, I am looking for your answers right here on my phone. See, there's two of me. And if you're on Zoom, you can just put that answer in the chat. I'll give everybody another minute with that answer. I do see some correct answers. Give you another minute here. All right, everybody. So the correct answer is 25%. So I have a couple of right answers that I will be putting into the bucket for prizes. Now, the next question is, Morécello won a bronze medal at the Washington Spirits Competition in what year? Now, I will tell you, it is between 2015 and 2018. Right, we've got a couple of right answers coming in. Give everybody another couple of seconds. And while we wait for those answers, Mark, question for you. Is Morécello available in Pelham? Do you know offhand?
If you give me about 35 seconds, I will give you that answer.
All right, Mark's going to look up Pelham. I'm writing down everybody who answered correctly that second trivia question. And the correct answer was 2017. So lots of right answers. Great job, everybody. So then the third question, before we move on to some more questions for Frank, is how many of our stores can you find Morécello at? So Mark answered this question earlier when he was telling you how much it cost. And it's a pretty high number. We have 69 stores total. And it is, let me do quick math in my head. It is available at slightly more than half of our stores. Spoiler. Ooh, look at Facebook, Shirley with the right answers, all three questions.
And it is not currently available in Pelham, but I'm sure if you go in there and talk to the manager, they will reach out to me directly and we can get some product shipped down there to them if you want to purchase at that location. So we'd be happy to help you out.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark. And if you were looking to get it in Pelham, but you want it faster, I can tell you that Salem is only about 11 minutes from there. My parents live right near there. So not too far. All right, everybody. So this is going to be last call for correct answer to question number 3. And the correct answer to how many of our stores can you find Morécello at is 37. So a little bit more than half of our stores. And now I have 13 people answered correctly, those 3 questions. So I'm going to pick 3 winners at random. But while I do that, Frank, it looks like somebody joined us a little bit late and they were wondering if you could share a little bit of the history of your brand.
Okay, the beverage was brought over, the recipe was brought over by my grandfather from Sicily way back when. And he used to make it regularly. He taught me how to make it. And for many years, I would make it for Christmas gifts and things like that for neighbors and friends. And it was very popular, and they all would push me to go commercial with it, which I wasn't interested in doing at that time. Things got slow in my regular career a few years back in the 2014, 2015 range. So I decided that was a good time to give it a shot. And I got my licenses. I bought a facility and applied for federal and state licenses in 2015 and went into business in 2016. The name Morécello comes from the Italian word for blackberry, which is more. And so it's so I registered the trademark back in 2015. But the process for making it has remained secret. It's very similar to the cello making process with some nuances that that I just don't want to disclose. And I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, Frank, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was such a pleasure to have you on. For those of you who missed it, Mark did mention Morécello is currently on sale in our stores for $17.99. Mark recommends buying 2 bottles and keeping one in the freezer. I say get at least 3, so then you can get 10% off.
Frank recommends buying 12.
And so without further ado, the 3 winners of the bottles that will be picked up from Frank and Meredith are Mary, Tracy, and Laura. Ladies, I will be emailing you to confirm your contact information so I can share it with Frank.
Thank you very much for having me, and I hope everyone goes out and gives Morécello a shot.
Awesome. Thanks, Frank, and thanks, Mark. And if anybody has any other questions, please reach out on Facebook or via email, and we'll send them over to Frank. This was a great conversation tonight. So thank you, Frank, for joining us. We're so sorry that we couldn't have you on a few weeks ago, but we're glad we got to have you on tonight. For those of you participating in our summer fun contest, Frank just gave you some great ideas, and blackberry liqueur would go fabulously with any of the Simi wines that are part of the competition right now. So if I give you an idea, please give me credit when you win. So enjoy, everybody. Thank you all. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.